What if time travel was not only possible, but happening every day? What if it was something that you could do right now? Who would you see? Who would you want to visit? What would you ask them? Meet your future self with Israel Savage. It's time.
I can tell you as a parent, and I've seen it in my own parents, when you appreciate the gifts you get, they want to give you more gifts, right? If they toss this thing to you and this thing and you just, but if you oh my gosh, so genuinely appreciate it and notice it, any parent wants to lavish gifts on you that are appreciated. And in this case, every single one of us, there's a future self, and then there's our current self, and even that tiny little 5-year-old self living inside of us. And the things that you stop to appreciate become more in your life, the places that you put your focus. And so if you start to expect and delight in discoveries and surprises, then you're going to start to get more of them in your life. Any discoveries or thoughts?
So I always leave with like a quote of yours or an analogy of yours that like sticks with me like the whole day, or well, longer than a day. But I love when you said, don't water the weeds, but water the flowers, which to me means there are going to be bad things that happen in your life. There's no way of avoiding it or changing that. I mean, it happens to everybody, but what do you can focus on the bad things if you want. It's going to be a waste of time. Or you can focus on, trying to get out of that bad situation by focusing on the positives, by focusing on a solution of how to get out of that. And again, it's all about your focus. I feel like water is the focus. You have it. You can you decide how you want to use it.
Yes. It's the power. Focus is your power. Focus is your magic superhero power. And so don't waste it. Don't throw it away. Be deliberate about who you give it to and what you give it to. And a lot of times people feel like they're lying when they don't tell the woeful tale of how they came to be and came to this place. Like it feels inauthentic to them. But I always like to remind myself that there are 1,000 ways to tell a story and 1,000 truths. And if focus is power and if what you focus on becomes more, why not pick a better feeling story? They're all true, yeah, but why not tell the better feeling truth if it makes more? So I love that. I love it. And your version of my quote is much better than how I said it.
I'll never forget my very first class. I was sitting right over there, and one of the things you said that first day was that whenever you have a question, you know that it will be answered. At the beginning of this session, you asked us all what we wanted out of this session, or wished to explore, and trusting in the truth was my comment. And then as the class kind of went on, the thing that kept popping into my brain was this idea of not letting the past take me down.
I love that. And I would just yes and what you just said, and that's that there's only one person who could ever take you down. Because just like we stood in this objective place where we observed our current self and future self with no judgment or thoughts, that is how the universe operates. There is no taking down or taking up. It just is. We apply the meaning. We bring the meaning to it. And in the same way, why not choose a better feeling thought? Why not choose the better feeling meaning in every circumstance? Why not? If you could choose a not so good feeling meaning and a good feeling meaning, then choose a better feeling meaning. Why not? Both could be true. Both are true. And so why not choose the one that feels better?
I think focus is your superpower. One of the things that I've learned, and learning how to use your focus, being disciplined in it is a technique I think that has to be considered on a daily basis. I'm grateful for, the time spent, because I was feeling like, what is this in my chest? Like I couldn't shake it. Like, and it was really strangling me. So I'm grateful for, the session that we had today, and, just going through the processes, should I say, of learning the benefits of what it is to understand the impact of how you feel and how your feeling could often steal your focus, because that's what I was sensing, and how you have to, just how am I feeling, and because how you're feeling, because it's so prevalent, should I say, you immediately could go like, if it's not in a good feeling space, because of the senses, you're going to go like this and focus on what it is that is not feeling so great, because the senses are not feeling great.
And be okay with whatever options you allow yourself to have in that moment, right? Because sometimes you're in a not so good feeling place and you don't feel like doing any processes, right? And so from wherever you are, you're just looking for the options that I would allow myself to have in this moment, what feels a little better. Sometimes it just means take a nap. Sometimes it just means stop and take a breath. As I was setting up today, I was getting myself in a better and better feeling place. And so quite a commute over from 34th Street. And so I just sat in this chair and looked out the window and just took a break and allowed my mind to be distracted. At the end of the day, we just want to go easy on ourselves. We want to soothe ourselves and go easy on ourselves. And the only other yes and that I'll offer is make friends with your emotions, all of them. Fear, anxiety, all of it is there to guide you. We would never want to shoot Novocaine into our hands so we couldn't feel something that was hot. That's a very valuable sense of touch. Sense of touch is valuable. In the same way, why would we want to dull out our emotions or avoid things that are unpleasant? It's guidance. It's telling you there's a disagreement between you and you. So rather than fight against or run from, breathe into and allow fear or anxiety or sadness or anything unpleasant to guide you, and thank it. It's just as much your friend as happiness and ecstasy.
I was just thinking to myself, like, this feels good. And I think that's why I'm on 22 cards. I keep coming back because this makes sense to me and this feels right and this fits my approach to the world. And it's so nice to have this place and this, it's like coming home in many ways. It's like touching base with myself. It's like my sanity check. So thank you for that. I was thinking, well, we're kind of told by society all the time that we are not whole, and that's why we need to buy this or buy that, and even if you're reading an editorial, that editorial is ad supported, and so I think somewhere in there's this underlying pervasive message where you need this to be complete, you need that, you need a husband to be complete, you need a product, and I think it's so valuable to be reminded that we don't need any of it. We don't need to change anything. We're good just the way we are. And it's such a beautiful, powerful way of thinking in it. It almost makes you invincible in a way to know, just not to like discover it or to change that thinking, but just to be reminded that you've always been that way. And so when you were talking about that, I was like, oh, like this is the society that we're living in, and thank God we have these moments where we're like we can let go of all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's, in terms of guidance, it's always a good reminder to think about the journey you're on and how that feels, because something I've said before, and let's see if I can remember how it goes, is that an unhappy journey never leads to a happy ending. And so a journey of incompleteness will never lead to completeness. You will find the husband or the job that you thought would make you complete, and you will only feel more incomplete because you realize that conditional living is a roller coaster. The good news is we can have unconditional happiness, unconditional completeness, and by unconditional, I mean not tied to people, places, and things, and you can have any of those feelings now. And as you practice those feelings into being, for yourself, as you practice those feelings of being into yourself, then your outside world must match your inside world. And that's not just woo-woo, it's science and everything in between. It's psychology. When I used to counsel people, I'd have them describe their life, an object in the room, anything would tell me everything I needed to know about their internal state and how they were feeling. So know that like attracts like in that way. And I want to say, pay attention to your outside world. It'll give you clues about your past thoughts. Your past thoughts, it takes a while for it to manifest. So it'll give you clues about your past thoughts and maybe your current vibrational state. The fact that you've created this place for yourself, all of you, and that you, including me, all of us together, means that there's an appreciation, there's a lining up. You never would have allowed it or found it in this big city of ours if there wasn't something already bubbling inside you. And so I am just a player in your story, and you're a player in my story. And we get to pick and choose the characters that we want to create with and co-create with. And I just think that's so powerful. It's the best story ever told, right?
If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/future self.